In this video, we will show you how to replace your vehicle input speed sensor on this Acura MDX. This will be located under your vehicle on the front of your transmission. Let's get into it. Okay friends, let's get started on our job. You'll have to safely make your way under the front of the vehicle. We're going to remove the lower forward splash shield. To remove this, it's going to be fairly simple. There's push clips holding it in place. To remove your push clips, some can look different than others, but typically you just want to carefully start pulling out the center to unlock them, and then you can remove the outer portion as well. Once you have it out of there, just a quick inspection. We'll continue on. At this point, we have the rearward shield separated from the forward shield. We do not need to fully remove this shield. We can leave this hanging. On this side, there's a push clip that goes through the shield and up and into the subframe. For this push clip in particular, it looks as though it's one I can just pull straight out, so I'm just going to get right along it, pull that out of place. Continuing on from here, we're going to have to make our way into each one of the wheel wells. Now in the wheel well along each side of the vehicle, you're going to find another push clip holding the inside fender liner to the lower shield. We'll get the one out of the other side as well. All right, this side's freed up. We'll continue over here. This one's still held in place with a push clip directly up in this port. For this, I'm just going to take hold of the skid plate and we'll pull it down a little bit. Once I have some movement from that, we can go ahead and remove it. Continuing on, you're going to find that you have several push clips making their way across the front of this shield, holding it in place. Keep in mind, these are the last things holding this to the vehicle. This one looks like it's pretty much just ready to come out of here. Now let's take hold of the shield. We'll have to pull it away from the rearward shield and pull it down and out of place. A quick inspection and we'll set this aside. With the shield out of the way, we're going to have a look up in this area. Now looking in here, you can see two speed sensors. There's one over towards the passenger side, and there's one all the way over here towards the driver's side of the transmission. The input speed sensor is the one towards the passenger side, pretty close towards the center of the vehicle. The other one over here is the output speed sensor. Before we start our removal process, let's make sure we clean down the area. For this, I'm just going to use some compressed air. Now let's disconnect the electrical connector. Looking at this blue connector, we can see that it does have a locking tab. You want to go ahead and press in on this portion and you should be able to pull it out of place. Once you have it off of there, just give it a quick inspection for corrosion. If you see any, go ahead and take care of it. This connector looks good, so we'll set it aside. You'll find you have a 10mm bolt holding this in place. We'll remove that, a quick inspection, and set it aside. Take hold of the speed sensor. We'll give it a little twist to try to separate it from the transmission and pull it straight out and away. If you do need to pry, be extremely careful not to break it off in the transmission. There it is, friend. With the input sensor out of place, continue on cleaning the transmission. Give it an inspection, make sure there's no damage. When doing this, we're only using a clean rag. We are not using any solvent inside of the transmission. This can cause damage. Just gonna make sure there's no miscellaneous debris in here. We also want to check along the base of the port. Now it's time to install our brand new input speed sensor. Before you install it in the vehicle, make sure you lubricate the sealing O-ring. That'll help it slide into place. Lubricating the O-ring, you only want to use the manufacturer specified ATF or transmission fluid. We'll get this aligned with the port, press it in straight rearward towards the transmission. Once you have it pressed in to the point it's completely bottomed out against the transmission, we'll continue on with our 10mm headed mounting bolt. Start it in, snug it up. The torque for this is 8 foot-pounds, which equates to 96 inch-pounds. Once that's torqued, it's time for the electrical connector. We'll line it up, press it in, listen for a click, a light tug to make sure it's completely secured. Let's just clean up the area just in case there's any mess. One last inspection, and now it's time to install our splash shield. For this, we want to make sure we pull down on the front bumper cover. We're going to slide the splash shield up above it. Just make our way all the way down. Now let's make our way back here. We're going to pull down on the rearward shield. We'll tuck that in. Continuing on, we need to align our push pin ports. I'm going to start with the center push pins, and then we'll continue on. Continue on back here. On each side, we have the area in the wheel well. Do the same on the other side. Let's make our way all the way across the front. Okay, friend, we finished our installation. The next thing that you want to do is hop in the passenger compartment, take your vehicle for a road test, and ensure everything's functioning properly. Aside from that, thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.